Episode 1 MADMAX1. Did anyone else just pause the episode to make sure they were watching the right show? This ragtag crew of bank-robbing punks is confusing, but oh hey, it's 8. I guess not all psychic lab children can grow up to use their powers for good, too. Son of a bitch, they're just doubling right on down on the kids cussing this season, I guess. Advertisement continue reading below 3. Justice for Barb. Watch 11 minutes in. Our first reminder that the town still has no idea what happened to her. 4. Hold up, I'm sorry. Winona Ryder is dating Samwise Gamgee. I'm gonna need a minute here, and not just because I feel personally victimized that she is not dating Hopper. Netflix. 5. Yeah, screw you too. Hopper's new nemesis, the Crow. But for real, is the Crow related to whatever is killing all the pumpkins? Crows are rarely a sign of anything good. Point 6. Barb's parents. This is very very sad, and not just because it's a dinner at which Nancy and Steve are still trying to pretend they're into each other. Also, it's finger-licking good. Are they going to make us like Steve this season? 1. Feel like they're at least going to try. Advertisement continue reading below 7. Poor Will is being pretty super stoical about intermittently slipping back into a hell dimension. It would be so easy for this character to be a whiny drag, and he's really not. 8. YAAAAAAAS, Hopper has been hiding. 11. I'm so here for this. Hopper lost his daughter and 11 never had a family, and they can be each other's family, and I'm just prepping in advance for a lot of feelings. Episode 2 Trick or Treat. Freak. 9. Ghost. I see that. Oh man, 11 wants to go trick or treating but she can't, and this is heartbreaking. It's not Hopper's fault. He really doesn't have an alternative if he wants to keep her safe, but this is basically 11 being forced into isolation again. 10. Showing up at school in full Ghostbusters costume only to realize that nobody else has dressed up. Literal nightmare fuel. I mean, I guess these kids already have plenty of other nightmare fuel left over from last season. Point 11. Nancy is really channeling all of the internet's collective grief and rage over Barb, which is at least making Nancy a moderately less boring character than she was to me last season. Point 12. Okay, so, I definitely assumed that Billy was Max's abusive older boyfriend until just now, and now I'm not sure how to feel about that. So they're step-siblings, I guess. In any case, this psycho creep seems like he wandered in from the set of Twin Peaks: The Return. Point 13. I just don't get what she sees in him. Lol, I guess Jonathan also ships his mom with Hopper and not Samwise Gamgee. Maybe I will stop calling him Samwise Gamgee at some point, but I definitely will not do so yet. Point 14. The fact that Ghostbusters is not yet a cultural phenomenon in this timeline is obviously accurate, but still deeply weird. Advertisement continue reading below. Advertisement continue reading below. 15. Drunk on Halloween punch. It's all bullshit. Nancy is maybe my favorite Nancy. Netflix. Episode 3 The Pollywog. 16. Oh really, Dustin, really you're gonna keep the mysterious baby lizard creature as an adorable pet, because you've never seen that go horribly wrong in any movie ever. 17. Hopper made 11 a triplet Ego extravaganza, and I'm doing fine. Point 18. And now we're flashing back to when Hopper first brought 11 to this cabin, and Hopper is dancing like a goofball, and I can't handle it. I love this. So does 11. It's delightful. 19. Sean Astin is pretty endearing as Bob, but I just can't help feeling there's some other shoe waiting to drop with this character. I know he supposedly went to high school with Joyce and Hopper, but I'm just HMM. Advertisement continue reading below. 20. Even from beyond the grave, Barb is managing to do a solid good deed by indirectly coming between Nancy and Steve. Sorry not sorry if you're one of the 3 people who was rooting for Steve. Point 21. It looks like something's moving inside of it. How many red flags do these kids need? Calling it a pollywog does not make this thing any more cute. Look how much it's already grown. 22. I really like Max, and the ripple effect of her presence in the gang, and oh damn, 11 just gave her a psychic smackdown. Her rage is understandable again. She's being forced back into isolation after briefly knowing what it was like to have friends, but also unsettling, especially now that she's just roaming around alone in Hopper's absence. 23. Damn it, Dustin. Point 24. That was some truly terrible advice you gave Will. Samwise Gamgee. In fairness, it's pretty good advice for plain old nightmares, but wholly impractical for actual supernatural entities. Netflix. Advertisement continue reading below. Advertisement continue reading below. Episode 4 Will the Wise. 25. I like Joyce this season. She's obviously still terrified for Will, but Winona Ryder is getting to play more different shades than the pure panic of last year. 26. Hopper and 11's fight is breaking my heart. I don't blame him for being at the end of his tether, but at the same time, dude, don't yell at the poor girl. She's been abused for most of her life. You wanna go back in the lab? One phone call, I can make that happen. Oof. 27. I'm now low-key scared that 11 is going to snap and lose control of her powers and do something terrible to Hopper. 28. There's a real body horror element to Will's storyline here, now that he's been possessed by whatever was in that terrible smoke. It's sort of a mystery like last season, but it feels more subtle and sinister to me. The idea that you can be safe at home with your mom and still have something be deeply, deeply wrong. 29. He likes it cold. Shudder. 30. Hopper was so close to apologizing to 11 there, but then he pulled it back and got mean again, and I don't understand why. I mean, yes, she needs boundaries, but she also needs to not be left alone all day with nowhere to go but her psychic shadow world. 31. Am I crazy, or is there a lot of homoerotic tension between Billy and Steve? I know it's the 80s and this is also Indiana, but just putting it out there. Netflix advertisement. Continue reading below. 32. Did Hopper really think 11 was just going to stay put this time? That kid is the definition of a flight risk. 33. So how many episodes do you figure we can drag out this Nancy Jonathan thing? I'm thinking maybe they'll try to hold out till the season finale, which means we're probably in for a lot more of these tiresome "how long you been together, oh, we're not together" moments. 34. I'm trying to parse why Billy has such a particular issue with Lucas, and is so violently offended by Max hanging out with him. There are certain types of people in this world that you stay away from. To cut to the chase, is Billy racist, or does he just hate nerds? 35. God, 11 trying to speak to her catatonic mom is devastating. 36. No, not the cat, goddammit, Dustin. Muse did not deserve this. Episode 5. Dig Dug. 37. I'm never getting over this. Dustin's poor mom loved that cat so much, loudly crying justice for Muse. 38. Not that I want this entire show to become about shipping, but it seems very unfair that the whole gang gets to have at least a crush except for Will, whose love interest is Pain. Advertisement. Continue reading below. Advertisement. Continue reading below. 39. I think he's in trouble. I think he's going to die. Do not even go there, Will. If anything happens to Hopper, this show and I are done. 40. I cannot handle Dustin's mom searching for Muse. I literally cannot. This is way worse than Barbie. I said it. The fact that Dustin is doing anything other than killing Dart at this point is insane. Netflix. 41. 11's arc this year is really searching for home. Maybe she thought she'd found a home with Hopper, but then he let her down. From her perspective, at least. I don't think this visit to her mom is going to work out either. 42. Hey, it's wacky conspiracy theory guy. How long before he starts asking pointed questions about Nancy and Jonathan's relationship? Status. Advertisement. Continue reading below. 43. You know what, Bob has made himself useful, and is going to help save Hopper, and for that reason I am officially no longer calling him Samwise Gamgee. Good job, Bob. 44. As Bob explains this very weird map, Winona Ryder is going through a slightly more subtle version of her facial expression roller coaster from the SAG Awards, and I'm living for it. 45. Could you please shut say that, Erica? I have no patience left for Dustin and his shenanigans. 46. Can't you just figure it out, Joyce? He's trying to find the location of a supernatural underground cave based on the insane drawings of a possessed child. Give him a second. 47. I like that we're just acknowledging that Nancy's parents are the most handsome in the world. Mr. Wheeler is just like, yeah, our children are never home, don't know what to tell ya, __. 48. Wow, no, I would not have thought that the way to redeem Dustin would be to put him together with Steve, but as it turns out they're maybe kind of a dream team. 49. I'm extremely stressed out by everything happening to Hopper right now, and I know he's almost definitely not going to die, but those killer vines need to step off, please and thank you. 50. I just thought it was a little derivative in parts, that's all. Okay, I guess we've reached the meta-commentary era of this show. 51. Wait, was that little girl with 11 in the flashback supposed to be 8, or a different sibling? Everything about 11's mom is absolutely devastating, not least because it is all about a patriarchal organization seizing control of women's reproductive rights. 52. Hopper is saved, all is right with the world, and now we all get to enjoy this image. Joyce holding Hopper's face like she's 100% about to make out with him while Bob stands in the background like deadpan face. Advertisement. Continue reading below. Advertisement. Continue reading below. 53. Noah Schnapp must have been absolutely exhausted after filming this season. So much suffering and crying and now seizures. Episode 6, The Spy. 54. Cut the bullshit and share the damn bed. Yep, there it is. On the one hand, conspiracy theory guy speaks for all of us, and he's totally right about shared trauma. On the other hand, stay out of teenagers' sex lives, dude. Netflix advertisement continue reading below 55. This is the most telegraphed kiss in television history, but it's also a really good kiss. 56. Have I always been this thirsty for Hopper? It's really crept up on me. 57. Wait, is this ominous music meant to suggest that Will doesn't recognize Bob because he's losing himself to the shadow monster, or that he doesn't recognize Bob because there's something shady about Bob? Maybe Bob is also possessed. 58. So Jonathan, how was the pullout? Cool. R.I.P. me. 59. Why would some girl like a nasty slug? Anyway, Steve is asking some great questions. I'm honestly annoyed that this season has been so successful at getting me to come around on Steve. Him trying to explain romantic electricity to Dustin is amazing. 60. 4 puffs of Farrah Fawcett spray. Well played, writers. Well played. 61. Hopper's emotional radio message to 11 is killing me. He's not mad, he's just sorry, and he doesn't want to lose her. And she's not even there to hear it. Loudly crying. 62. I like that Max has a bit more of a complex, dark family backstory than a lot of the kids. Her desperation not to end up like her brother is really well drawn, and I am 100% shipping Max Lucas now. Advertisement continue reading below. 63. Oh damn, is Steve about to go out in a blaze of glory right after they made us love him? 64. Nope, Steve is good, but there is a fallen army of demogorgons descending on the lab. Episode 7 The Lost Sister. Netflix. 65. This episode feels like a backdoor pilot for a completely different show, and I would not watch that show. 66. Everybody keeps making fun of that one blonde dude's hair, but literally all of these people look ridiculous. This episode is like if Hot Topic decided to get into producing original content and tried for an X-Men knockoff. 67. Linnea Berthelsen is very good in this role. She's compelling to watch, but it's made so obvious from minute 1 that 8 is bad news. I would have liked a little more time spent on the sisters' relationship, I think. Advertisement continue reading below. 67. The whole teen punk thing feels very surfacey and the dialogue is forced, and I don't quite believe 11 would ever contemplate calling this home. I understand that finding your sister is powerful, but .mer. 68. Go home to your policeman. Yes, the only correct thing 8 has said. Episode 8 The Mind Flayer. 69. Wait, the Mind Flayer whose mind is getting flayed? 70. It's kind of fitting that the Hawkins lab should end up being overrun by these monsters of its own creation. 71. Whoa, Billy's father using that particular F-word was unexpected, and now his terribleness makes a little more sense. 72. Wait, Dark Data Cadum, thank you, Lukey's. Finally, somebody else is as upset about this as I am. Justice Muse. 73. Alright, so I think I was wrong about Bob being shady, but he is about to die, right? He's making himself extremely useful and heroic in all the ways supporting characters do right before they croak, and you know he's gotta be out of the picture eventually because Joyce Hopper is the endgame. 74. Yeah, it's not looking good for Bob. 75. Oh crap, the shot of Bob and Joyce smiling in relief at each other just went on that little bit too long, and then it is over. R.I.P. Bob, I'm sorry I called you Samwise for so long. 76. Damn, that shot of the demo dogs just going to town on Bob's body. Brutal. 77. Oh, so the Mind Flayer is a DD thing. I love when the gang gets back to basics and just DIYs up a solution to a supernatural problem. 78. Everyone taking turns talking to Will about their favorite memories of him is such a great scene. The entire cast really gets put through the emotional ringer this season, way more than last time. Advertisement continue reading below. 79. 11 Episode 9 The Gate. 80. Mike and 11's reunion is really sweet, but truly I am all about the surrogate father-daughter thing with Hopper and 11. Where have you been? Heart. 81. Oh my lord, and now Mike freaking out on Hopper and then breaking down in his arms. Hopper is everybody's dad. Netflix. 82. Guiltily laughed at 11 looking right through Max when she tried to intro herself. Too soon. Max. 83. Is Billy going to have sex with Nancy's mom? 84. No, Hopper's little speech about feeling like he's a black hole is so sad. Anyone who lives in Hawkins could be forgiven for thinking they're cursed, tbh, but Hopper is truly the opposites of a black hole. He's a white hole or a really awesome constellation. Advertisement continue reading below. 85. Who's Sarah? 11. Did and T know about Hopper's daughter before now and okay, yep, definitely crying now. 86. Steve joining the gang feels like when James Franco joined the Geeks in the season finale of Freaks Geeks, and that comparison is truly the highest compliment I can give to anything. 87. And again I have to ask, are daughter Steve and Billy about to make out? The sexual tension is off the damn charts. 88. Oh, nope, they're just gonna beat each other up because, you know, 1980s Indiana. Is the villain of season 3 just going to be Billy? He's genuinely monstrous. 89. Huh, Steve coming round and blearily murmuring Nancy and Mike because those siblings really do look alike. 90. Maybe you could help her lead a normal life once where she's not poked and prodded and treated like some kind of lab rat. I don't know. It's just a thought. I think I've established at this point that I am here for Hopper in every iteration, but I am especially here for protective Daddy Hopper. 91. Will's storyline is really just a full Exorcist homage at this point, and I am not mad about it. I think it may get tiresome if the show continues to have him constantly in jeopardy, and season 3 should maybe have someone else be the victim, but he was around for so little of last season that this has worked. 92. Still hate Dart. Still pissed at Dustin. Justice for Muse. 93. Hopper and Eleven clinging to each other after the gate is closed. I am just a puddle of emotions at this point. 94. Justice for Barb finally, and a real funeral. I mean, the official explanation for her death is still bogus, but at least it acknowledges a government cover-up. 95. Can only assume Hopper is on the I vomited black goop in the underworld and have now lost my appetite forever diet. Also, I guess they had to put that line in there because David Harbour is going to be ripped AF next season. 96. Hopper is Eleven's legal father now. This finale is truly everything I could have dreamed. And I don't even know what to do with myself. 97. Bless Lucas, he's such a cutie practicing his lines in the mirror. I feel like he might have become my fave of the kids. 98. Dustin's mom has a new cat, so now I can sleep tonight, and sweet lord, Dustin's Farrah Fawcett hair. I'm into it. 99. Steve, real talk, Nancy is not that great. She's just fine. Move on, bro. 100. Oh god, poor Dustin. This whole school dance rejection sequence is so painful. I am watching through my hands. These girls are the worst. Disappointed. Thank God for Nancy. I take it back, maybe she is that great. 101. Just about every couple, or potential couple, on the show gets a moment at the end here, including Joyce and Hopper. My everything. 102. Every Breath You Take is a super appropriate dance song to end this season on, because it is nice on the surface and super creepy deep down, just like Hawkins. Yeah, that's the level of metaphorical analysis I'm at after 9 hours of binge watching.